and welcome to Diecast Restos. I'm Jason and this is the overpainted remnants of a Matchbox 59A Ford Thames van. It was produced by Lesney between 1958 and 1963. Initially a pale green, later versions were painted a darker Kelly green. All had silver trim applied to the headlights, grille and the front bumper, but only early examples had the rear bumper painted. This is a light green Thames van as it was new, and this is the Ford Thames 300e it was based on. The model versions of the 300e all had black base plates, either matte or gloss. They attached to the body by a front rivet post and a tongue and a slot at the rear. They had either silver or grey plastic wheels that could be crimped or rounded secure onto the axle. Most models had decal guides cast onto the doors to align the Singer sewing machine's advertising. I really struggled to take mine apart since the previous owner's brown overpaint had sealed it fast. The body of the casting was handily borrowed from the 1956 30A Ford Prefect. The 300e was the van version of the Ford 100e platform that the Prefect, Popular, Anglia, Squire and Escort were related to. The 300e Thames van was produced by Ford of Britain from 1954 until 1961. It was the second van to be produced under the Thames name following the E83W, which began being sold as a Thames in 1952. The Thames 300e van was originally sold as a 5 long hundredweight capacity vehicle, equivalent to £560 or 254 kilos. The range was later expanded to a 7 long hundredweight version, a capacity of £784 or 356 kilograms. This was offered in standard or deluxe guise. All three versions of the 300e offered 66 cubic feet or 1.9 cubic metres of load space. Prior to its discontinuation in April 1961 and replacement by the Ford Anglia 105e based Thames 307e van, just short of 197,000 300es were built. 139,000 were the 500 weight models, while 10,000 standard and 47,500 deluxe 700 weight models were produced respectively. As for my casting, I've used Dettol antiseptic liquid to help loosen the paint coating the plastic wheels. Then I can scrape the remnants away. After that, they need a wash to remove the oily sheen as well as that smell. But the result speaks for itself. The base is painted in gloss Tamiya TS14 black. And the body I've chosen to go with the metallic TS60 pearl green. Now I know that the casting was never released in a metallic finish, but this shade is near perfect. The metallic sparkle will just give it that je ne sais quoi. I use a set of locking pliers to crimp the axle ends back to their original position. It's surprisingly easy to do using the kind of pressure created by the pliers. The metal of the axles is just malleable enough to make it work. Before this method, which was inspired by Marty of Marty's Matchbox Makeovers, I used to just use ordinary pliers and a hammer. This method was a bit hit and miss, literally. The finish wasn't the greatest, created sharp edges, and just took forever. My model now receives trim to the grille, headlights and bumpers from my Molotow chrome pen. I'm really pleased with how this has come out so far. The colour and trim really suit models from this era. Once I'm done with the trim, I move on to applying the Singer sewing machine's decals. Now known as Singer Corporation, Singer Manufacturing Company as they were in 1958 are best known for their sewing machines. They've been producing them since 1851, originally in New York, though mass production began in Elizabeth, New Jersey in 1863. By 1855, Singer were already the world's largest sewing machine brand and became synonymous with sewing. The red S logo that I'm applying now was introduced in 1870. 3 years prior to that, due to huge demand for Singer sewing machines in the UK, a factory was opened in Glasgow. A subsequent factory in the city had almost 1 million square feet of space and employed almost 7,000 employees, becoming the largest sewing machine factory in the world. A reduction in demand meant the factory closed in 1980 after 113 years of production. The company still operates and produces sewing machines to date. These Singer decals are superb, an excellent recreation of the original design. As ever, I'll leave a link to the source in the description below. There's not much to do really to put this 59A Thames van back together. The base simply slots into the opening at the rear and connects to the front via the rivet post, which can then be secured with a screw. Here's how my Ford Thames van looked to start off. Someone had really poorly painted over it, but hats off to them, at least they tried with a little detailing. Some of the brown had chipped away to reveal a little of the green, but more of the bare metal. The wheels didn't escape the brown paint, so needed restoring just as much as the body did. There was no sign of the Singer decals either underneath the redesign. But here's my take on how this Thames van should have looked. The brown has been replaced by metallic Tamiya TS60 pearl green. It's not a true restoration as such, but I personally think this paint is an improvement over the flat original. Certainly over the Kelly green anyway. The reproduction decals look superb. Great colours and a high quality finish. They really help set it off. I've given it the full trim treatment, with chrome applied to the rear bumper as well as the front, plus the grille and headlights. The wheels look good as new and the axle ends were also tickled with chrome. Do let me know what you think in the comments. Please leave a like if you like and subscribe. Take a moment to visit my Patreon page to preview next week's build and join up while you're there if you can to help support the channel. Links are in the description and at the end of the video. But all that leaves me to say is thanks for watching and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.